Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Andre here with Xenomorph.com. So here's the magic number, the MMS300. This is the Mark 45. One of the recent releases in Hot Toys Avengers Age of Ultron line, and it's a magnificent suit for every Iron Man collector out there. Have a look at this shiny armor. It's really awesome. So stay tuned for this video review and all the details on this figure. So just a quick look at the box. As usual with a die-cast figure, you have these two powder, and inside there's a thick styrofoam inlay, and beneath the styrofoam there's a second layer for a compartment for the base and the additional accessory. So currently in Hong Kong it's quite a pricey figure. I think it's almost $500 shipped with EMS. Maybe you can get a bit lower, but in general quite a hefty price there currently. But if you get the figure out of the box, you really feel the quality, and I think for every Hot Toys Iron Man collector it's really a must-have. So let's get next to the figure. So and here we got the figure out of the box, the Mark 45, and I'm still really amazed on this magnificent paint job. It's so much shinier and more metallic than the other suits that I've seen before, but let's get a comparison with the Mark 43 later on. So let's get first to the accessories. Here in this set you actually got quite some few different accessories. So here we have, for example, an alternate repulsor hand with a blast effect on it. So this is definitely glued on. These are not articulated but a bit flexible. Then of course the other one. Then we've got two laser beams that you can mount and install into the hands. They're quite long. Then as a main accessory you got this Sentry or Ultron Sentry drone. Here's some dirt painted on. All in all quite nice. The head is articulated, you can even remove it, but no light up feature. The arm is a bit rotatable. So then let's continue on the right side here. So you got a second plastic replacement of the torso armor, which is completely battle damaged, but as I said, all plastic. Also the normal piece is just plastic, which bothers me a bit, but yeah, anyhow. And then of course different hands. So here are like fixed position hands for the repulsor action, and I think this one is the articulated left hand, and so on. And then as another throw in you got these blaster rocket effects that you can mount onto the boots, so that you have him in fly mode. I think these new styled effects are a bit better than the ones that we got on Bones, for example. The one on the Bones armor just looked a bit too comic-ish somehow. These look a bit more realistic. Also the blaster effects on the hands, they're pretty nice, I have to say. So then let's do a quick focus on the base. As you can see here, it just should resemble the final scene with the steps in this Sokovia area. It's quite a heavy piece actually, and definitely will need this weight to balance the figure good enough. On that, quite a nice weathering effect, but all plastic. This is like a metal rod or something. So then you get two different mounting accessories for the display stand. So actually you have this normal metal rod with the straight grabber, and this is like the waist grabber with the flexible rod. So basically you use this one for the flight poses and this one for just normal stand-up poses on the base. So overall I think the base is a nice addition, but what I really missing here is the actual Avengers Age of Ultron default base with the nameplate on it. So that's a bit of a drawback, I think. So here's the figure back on the base, and let's go straight for the head sculpt. As you probably can already see, the paint job is magnificent. There's a bit of wear and battle damage going on, just some minor stuff here on the edges. Overall the whole suit is not totally clean. So let's put the LED on. Quite nice and bright. I think they used a bit larger battery cells on the head sculpt. And basically you only have this this helmet version. There is no actual portrait of Robert Downey Jr. in this set, which is, well, for my liking at this price point, also a bit of a drawback, but not a major one. As you can see, the range of motion is exceptionally. You can even put it a bit higher, but also put it a bit lower, and you can do everything that you want in terms of articulation with the head sculpt. Really, really shiny. Alright, let's go for the body and armor sculpting. I think the Mark 45 is one of the most beautiful suits out there. It has a very organic vibe to it, and I think that's exactly what the designers wanted to achieve. So here's the excerpt from the Avengers Age of Ultron Art Of book, and as you can see here, they tell you exactly that they had this very geometric shape in the Iron Man 3 movie, and they wanted to do something more organic and anatomically inspired, directed. So I think this is really what they were going for, and it totally is now visible in this 3D sculpt of Hot Toys. Okay, let's go into some details here. As you can see here, the torso is really massive. Also the bicep area is a lot more protruding compared to the other suits. I think all these rounded edges, all this more depth to it really makes up for a really massive and clean looking suit. Here on the back side you actually can see that the rod is really quite a tall piece, so if you don't pose the figure correctly, you absolutely can see the rod behind the figure. Then I think other than that, the articulation is really good on this figure. I mean, you have absolutely no blockage on the arms. You even can pull out the arms a bit and put them in like 30 degrees. I think this is a known mechanism from the Mark 42. I think the elbows are a bit more extendable, so you have a bit more than 90 degrees angle on the forearms. Also the ab area is extendable and rotatable, really nicely thought through by Hot Toys. You really feel that they know how to engineer these things here. On the back side you have got these nice vent holes here, and below this piece actually, well, let's show first the air flaps. So these are hidden below here, and below the middle piece you've got the LED switch. So this is the arc reactor activated, and this is it deactivated. There's a lot of detail in there, quite nice. But I think this piece is also plastic. It really looks shiny, but it's all plastic. Then if you want to go for the arc reactor in the palms, you have to remove this piece here. Down there is the battery compartment and the switch. So pretty standard here. So these switches are completely hidden below these panels. Then for the waist area, you see there are these two plastic pieces that you can actually lift up. You really have to lift this up if you want to move the thighs and the legs, so be really careful not to scrape and scratch these edges here while moving the legs. The legs, I think, are die cast, so these are really some heavy pieces here, nicely sculpted and painted. Also in this Iron Man you've got the switch in the back area where you can do a lot more range of motion in terms of posing. I'm not sure if you can do the landing pose. It's not that important for this figure as it was for the Mark 42, but I'm sure there will be some people out there who will try to do the landing pose. So then I want to show you this laser beam accessory, which actually goes into this segment that you can lift up from the forearm area. So it's quite a long beam, as you can see. Not sure if I can have him pose like this, but here's this additional piece that you just can lower into the gauntlet. Nicely engineered, and you just pull it up like this. Alright, let's go for one of the most sophisticated part on the figure, which I think are the boots and the lower legs. So these are really look like very organic pieces in one solid piece, and there's actually quite some articulation and thought going into this boot, so you can lift and lower the actual lower part of the boot, and then you will see that there are some different moving parts. So actually this part is movable, this part is movable, and the whole segment down there, so that you got this pivot articulation. I think it's a bit tricky, and you really have to be a bit careful when to get it into the original state, because you have to align these pieces correctly, that you won't snap or scratch the paint off. But overall, quite a nice idea. Just be a bit careful. So then, of course, on the lower end of the boots, you can actually mount these rocket thruster effects. Quite a nice idea. Alright, let's do a quick comparison with the older Mark 43 from the same movie. So this is from the first half of the movie, this is one from the second half after the Hulkbuster incident. And I think in direct comparison, the Mark 45 really shines. I mean, the paint job is so much more depth and rich. On this part, of course, you've got a lot more going on in terms of geometric sculpting of the armor work. But I think overall, I would definitely go for the Mark 45 in direct comparison. Also, as you can see, the Mark 45 is a bit taller, I have to say. And it really has a lot more depth to it. Alright, let's go for a closing on this video review of the Mark 45, the recent Hot Toys Iron Man release. And as you can see, he's flying over the base with just blasting another enemy off in the distance. And as you can see, there's a lot of dynamic in this figure. You actually can do a lot of variety posing. There's a lot of details to it. I mean, have a look at this armor at the back area with the air flaps. It's really nice. Also, the nice and shiny paint application is really a huge step forward, and I really hope that in future and upcoming Iron Man suits will have this kind of paint job on it. So I hope you enjoyed this video review. I think it's worth the price. I think for $400 it's quite a nice deal in the end. So this would be like the retail price, I think, in the United States or in Europe, if it gets to you guys. And for that price, I would say yes, go for it. It's quite a heavy piece. It's die cast. A lot of pieces are die cast in there. It has really feel to it, and I think this is really worth the actual price. In any case, if you're a hardcore Iron Man collector. So I hope you enjoyed this video review, and until next time, guys, bye bye and enjoy.